Well, I don't think productivity is going to be driven very much in the United States by investments in technology any longer. Here in the States and really in Western Europe as well, technology has become commoditized, by which I mean something very strict in terms of economics. There is no longer any competitive advantage to a company continuing to make large-scale investments in IT. Now, from about 1981 until, say, 2000, for almost 20 years, the productivity gains all across the United States and in Europe were largely driven by these investments. For years and years and years, we had productivity gains around 2.5% to 4%. And we had these without any of the concomitant costs of inflation, which normally accompany productivity growth of that order. And that happened purely because of IT. But that's finished here. The regions of the world which are seeing an advantage in terms of investment in IT are India, are China, are even surprisingly Africa. And that's how they're sustaining productivity rates of sometimes as much as 13% by investing in IT and at the same time without any real damage in inflation. So where the West has to look for gains in productivity, it's going to have to come from new ways of thinking. It's going to have to come from innovation. It's going to have to come perhaps from some areas where there is still a competitive advantage in green technology and in life sciences and biotechnology. Cloud computing is a great example by what I mean of the commoditization of information technology. Cloud computing is where information processing, software, storage, it exists not on your desktop or in a local area network inside your company or even in a virtual private network in your company as it's scattered around its regional offices, but exists out in the web as a cloud, and you pull it down from the sky. In this sense, information becomes like electricity, ubiquitous and invisible, but always on. Now that's very much a sign of a commoditized information technology market. And I think one of the implications of cloud computing is a further competitive advantage for India, China, and Africa. I was in Africa a few months ago for the TED conference, where I saw an outsourcing company which buys almost all its processing power from Google, from Amazon. It just downloads, as it were, over the web. And by doing so, it's outcompeting India for price for some of its outsourcing services. So though cloud computing doesn't do American companies that much good, except in terms of it making them slightly more efficient, it's an enormous boon to the poorer parts of the world, which find that they really do have a level playing field.